everyone. Today we will be looking at a lot of different things about open source. So we've got Veerpal and Manish here. So say a hi to everyone and hey, I'll give over to Veerpal now. Veerpal, you take over the whole thing. Veerpal, you are muted.
Sorry, sir. A very good afternoon to all of you. I'm Vipal Gaur. Today we are gathered here to gain some knowledge about open source Get and GitHub. So today we will learn it from an expert, Mr. Praveen sir, a very good, motivated, passionate, and a hardcore web developer with this experience in developing web applications, hybrid apps, and etc. I here welcome Mr. Praveen sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for sharing time for us. I know your words gonna be very fruitful for us. So now I would like to invite Mr. Praveen sir to share an elaborated topic with us. Please, sir.
Hey, hi everyone. So today, just for giving a quick introduction. So I'm Praveen Kumar. I'm from Chennai, and I'm a full stack developer. I'm currently in London, and I work with JavaScript technologies and a lot of things. And it would be really interesting today because we'll be looking at what open source can do for you in the future as well as right now. And not only that, there are a lot of things that you can do with open source. So Manish, do you want to say a few introductions? So Manish is also here. So Manish, I would like to thank you because you gave me this opportunity. Thanks a lot, man. And go on. Do you want to say a few words and then I'll tell what all things that I'll be covering today, and we'll be looking into different things that we can do with open source stuff, and then we'll go what we need to do with next. Manish, oops, looks like Manish is stuck. Oh no. Okay, Virpal, do you want to say, do you want to cover for Manish? Manish seems to be like stuck in that smiling face and okay, yep, Manish is still stuck.
Yes.
All right, let's continue this way. So all right, so today what I will be covering today is, so I work with a lot of open source stuff, and today I'll be starting with what exactly open source is and why we are using open source. Then there are like different types of licenses that we use for software development. So we'll be having a quick look at what all different licenses are there, and then coming to version control systems, and in the version control systems, what all things that we can work with. And sorry, just a second, looks like Manish is completely gone now. There seems to be some issue with Manish connection.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. He's in Rajasthan now, so that's why he has network issue.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, it looks like Manish is completely gone. So yeah, Manish was stuck with a huge smile and now he's completely gone. So yeah, that's fine. Right. So we will be looking at these things, and once we are done with the different licenses, we'll be looking into what are all the different version control systems that we can use. Then we will talk in a brief about Git and GitHub, how we can start contributing or something like that. And then there is something called as Hacktoberfest. How many of you know what Hacktoberfest is? Just put a small comment that yes, I know, in the YouTube live chat. And finally, okay, Manish is back, I guess. And finally, we'll be looking at how, what exactly, what kind of benefits you will be getting with respect to open source. So this is what we are going to cover today. So are you all excited now? And what's can you also give a quick introduction about yourself, and don't forget to give this video a like, and um, please subscribe to my channel for more information as well. So like there will be a lot of live streams going on. It will be very much interactive. There are a couple of hands-on sessions that's been planned, and those kind of things are happening. Okay, so yes, Manish is back with a huge smile, and we have Manish here. Manish, do you want to say a few words?
Sorry guys, my internet is low, so sorry for that. Actually, today are having our sir Praveen sir. So I want to thanks to him because he gave our to his important time, and I hope sir will help us to grow our knowledge in the open source and the Git and GitHub. That's our basis of the main thing in open source to contribute. So sir will tell what is future and how it will add some value in our portfolio to get good placement, go in abroad, and many things also. So, sir, no
Yeah,
better
actually,
than
that's
us.
also a good idea. If there is anyone who is ready to like wanna come here and study, or wanna come here to the UK to work, I can be helping you as well. So, how many of you are interested in coming to the UK? I mean, I'm serious.
All are,
Nice,
all
awesome.
are.
So right now we are also hiring, the company with where I'm working for. Uh, we are also hiring. We are proactively getting people to get interviewed, and all these things are happening right now. So I'll quickly put my YouTube, LinkedIn link in the YouTube chat, and please, for people who haven't connected with me, please get connected, and let's have an initial discussion about like what how we can go on, and what all things are available in the UK. And I have worked both in UK as well as in India, and I have also studied both in India as well as UK. So there are a lot of differences between how the education system and the employment works in UK rather than in India. So in UK you don't even need a proper degree for a job. Like if you know what you are working on, that alone is enough, and they are not very much concerned about your degree or your certificates or anything. So that's actually really a good thing, right? So that's one thing is also there, and I'm happy to help you all, like guide you all in any way possible. Like for example, if you want to come and learn about this country, or like if you want to come here. So I come from India. I've been in India for like 24 years, and now I'm here. So these are things are there, right? Um so I can clearly say that there is a huge difference, and the work culture is really good and stuff like that. Okay, so to give a quick introduction about me, I'm a full stack JavaScript developer. I'm also a JavaScript specialist and a mentor for a lot of students. And I just want to say a huge hi and thanks for your team. And there are like loads of people watching now. Hey everyone, it's nice to meet you all. And B Bros Gaming has been on fire. So right, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click on the subscribe, click on the like button. And now I'm just gonna quickly um, share about my so I keep saying that I'm a full stack developer. So what exactly is this full stack development? Let me share my screen quickly and show you what exactly my website looks like. If I'm a full stack developer, obviously I should be having a website, right? So uh, I hope everyone is able to see my screen, right? So hey everyone. So look, looking at this one, just give me 1 second. Oops. Right. Okay. So if you have a quick look at the screen, like let me show you my website. This is how my website looks like. So this is a full stack website, right? Like a full stack developer means like for people who have got a hands-on backend as well as front end. So this is how my website looks like. I have like different roles that I play, and then inside that, then I have got a quick introduction. So we will be always having like the good part of like having a full stack website is like you can showcase your works. Like for example, this is my experience I have listed down, and then where all I studied. Then we have got like a different number of sets of projects and other things. And then finally coming back to like I'm also a blogger, so I've done this. So this is one inspiration which you can use for having a full stack website. And one more thing is let me stop the screen sharing. Right, coming back to what we are talking about, so let's talk about more into open source and how that is going to benefit you all. Okay, so the first thing we will look into is what exactly open source is and what are all the different types of licenses are there in the current open source world. Okay, so the first thing is, Manish, is there anything else that you want to add on to this? Manish, you're muted again.
Guys, I want to share to all of you that sir is really helpful and sir is great. That's I ever meet in say open source. Open source guys really helpful, and guys it will definitely will help you in future and in your career. So sir will teach about open source, and it's a Hacktoberfest event that sir conduct every year from continuously from 6th year. So it's a great event. From there you can start. So sir teach about that. So sir can start.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's quickly go into what open source is. So the first thing is, if sorry, just give me a second. I'm getting a lot of messages right now. Okay, so the first thing is, open source software means like you are giving your source code to everyone in the world. That is the main thing about open source software. And before that, so what exactly happens in open source world is like, what should I say? In which so whenever you're trying to develop a software, if you're doing it with yourself like a closed source license, and you're not revealing the source code outside, then it is a closed source. And in case if you are putting the source code out for everyone to publicly contribute, that becomes an open source. So you allow the people to like use it for free and make modifications and reuse it for themselves. This is what is called as open source, right? Okay, so talking about all these things, there are different multiple licenses in open source software. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the licenses. Okay, so the first thing is, how many of you have heard of something called as GPL, GNU GPL license? Okay, Manish, we have got a lot of requests saying that you want to be your prime minister. What do you want to say?
No, I don't want a prime day. I want to do my work.
All right. Okay. So there are a couple of popular open source licenses. So the first license being, GNU GPL license. GPL license means General Public License, and that allows you to like do whatever you want with the whole. It's the most, like. Less restrictive license of all the licenses. And then there is like there is a LGPL license which is more, like there is literally no restriction at all, like those kind of things. And then you have something called as MIT license. MIT license was founded by Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So what they do is, so how many of you heard about jQuery and Bootstrap? I believe these two projects are based out of MIT license. MIT license is slightly less permissive and it has some more restriction. Like you cannot say that jQuery is yourself, like yours or something like that. So to give a quick idea about what exactly the license means is, if my project, if I do any kind of a project online, I generally put it as a GNU GPL license, where what you can do is whenever you wanna use that project for any purposes. For example, yesterday I was working on something like what do you call this? Creating a nice portfolio website for yourself. So that is what I've been working on yesterday. So with that being said, if at all you are trying to use that code for yourself for building a portfolio, you can completely reuse it, tell it as yours and everything. So it is completely open source. So that is exactly a quick idea about what open source is, I'll send you the GitHub link right now. So that's one thing. And then the other license is, there are other licenses as well. There is something called as BSD, then Mozilla public license, and Apache license. These licenses are somewhat restrictive. Like for example, you can copy, you can do whatever you want, but you cannot, share it, tell this as your own things and something like that. Coming back to the chats, Bibro saying like, but our university can't teach us, so we can't prepare for competitive programming. Okay, first thing, a lot of things are not being taught by the university nowadays. So that is the main reason. That is one of the main reason. What I thought is like, let me go ahead and share my knowledge on these things, and then it will be really helpful for others to learn from me and something like that. This is what I thought, and that's what is happening right now as well. Okay, so talking about this, then there is other licenses called Eclipse public license. So a lot of people might have used something called as Eclipse IDE, right? So it is the same company that uses this public license, and then there are different versions of this license as well. Then finally we have CDDL license, which is Common Development and Distribution License. So what this does is, uh, you got like, if you are creating a project just for making others to use that in their own projects, then it is going to be using the CDDL license. So there are like so many different licenses available, and all these licenses are like non-restrictive licenses. Like, it doesn't, for example, if you are using, a lot of people will be using Microsoft Windows, right? So that is the most common operating systems in India and in the whole world. Like, the share of Windows operating system is like huge. And thinking about all these things, uh, it is really, like, you can't get the source code of Windows to use or something like that. So that exactly is a proprietary license. Okay, now we have talked about licenses. If you have any questions, just put the question in the chat. And the next thing that we are going to look into is the most interesting part. What exactly as a, sorry, not most interesting part, that comes at the end, so stay tuned. Right now we will be looking at what is a version control system. So let's say you're working on a project, it is full of codes, and then there are like not only you who is working on the project, but there are like multiple people who are working on the project. In that case, how would you be managing the code, like the code process daily? So let's say, Manish is there, and there is Virpal is here, and we are all working on a, say like 3-page website. So I'll take the home page, Manish takes the about us page, and Virpal takes the contact us page. If we are splitting up between these three things, these three of us, um, yeah, if we are splitting it into these three of us, and then what we will do is we will be working on our own pages there, then and there. But going somewhat complicated further, if three of us are working on the same page, then there could be like merging issues and there could be conflicts. So there could be like something which I do and Manish will like revert it back and do something else, and then my code will not work. So those kind of things are there when you are working together. So there is this version control system. It's a software. What it does is, it will be helping you in time traveling between the code. So that is actually a good part of having a version control system. And what happens with that is, you'll be able to, what do you call this, you'll be able to revert back to a previous working state, or you can go in time to see how the whole code has come up so far. So this is one of the good reasons why we need to use version control system and other things. Then apart from these things, we also have something called as, uh, there are different types of, actually there are different version control system software. Can everyone name a few version control system software that you know? I'll give you a few seconds in the chat. In the meantime, we'll ask Manish and Veerpal, do you know about version control systems, or like what all things that you know?
Basically, version control system is used to for the control the version of the software. That's why we're making like website application, Android, any type of application. That's how we are making. For that, we are using this version control system like GitLab, GitHub, and like many other things. Software platform also they are providing this kind of services, but mostly popular this GitHub. Yes, sir.
Awesome,
Provide.
man. So you are talking about the services. I'm talking about the software. So Git is the software here. So the different types of version control software will be like there is Git for us. Then Git is most common. But in the universities, like at least in UK universities, uh, they are coming from like really old, right? Like all these software are like 100 years old and stuff like that. I'm just kidding. Okay, so these people they use something called as trunk SVN and there is something called as mercurial as well. So these three were the top competitive thing like Coca-Cola and Pepsi back in those days. So there was like SVN, mercurial and Git like killed both the other things, and now it is always like yeah, Git is only there and stuff like that. Based on Git, there are like so many different services. That is what Manish you said. So number one is the GitHub, which is very popular and it is taken over by Microsoft, and they are doing a lot and lot of things. How many of you have heard of Arctic Vault? So whatever code you are writing, everything is preserved in a cold storage and it will be retrievable even after thousands of years. How many of you know about this one? And I saw the chat. A lot of people were saying about Git and Bitbucket and other things. So they are all services. But what I was expecting was Git, SVN, and Mercurial. These are the three things that are open. So like, what do you call this? Um, they are the version control software, the systems. So based on Git, a lot of companies have emerged. GitHub, the first one. Then we have Atlassian's Bitbucket. Then we have GitLab. Then Microsoft Team Server. So those kind of things started coming up, and then a lot of people were starting to use private repositories, public repositories, etc. And then finally coming back to what we are looking at. Okay, and we are also let's have a quick look at the chat as well. Deepansh says that please also inform us if there are any more events like Hacktoberfest later in the live stream. Yes, definitely. Don't forget to click on the subscribe and the bell button so that you will be getting notified if there is anything coming up. So a lot of things are planned in the next future, in the near future. So yes, there will be a lot. Uh, hey Gulam, nice to meet you. And yeah, so a lot of people are saying that they haven't heard of these things. Chinmay, this is not a Norwegian island. I guess it's in. I guess yeah, it's in the place where those lights are coming up, northern lights. I guess that is the place. Yes, you're right. It could be Norwegian island. I'm not sure, but it is in the Arctic cold vault. And they also say that this is like AWA. Let me quickly get the information about it. So it is Arctic World Archive, and it is there in Spitsberg, Norway. Yes, it is in the Norwegian island, far from the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. So I guess a lot of people know that there is something called as a seed vault, right? It has been, uh, you know, dumped inside that whole ice cube and other things. So glaciers, it's just inside the glaciers where in case of any catastrophe, all the genes of all the plants of seeds, all the seeds that is possible in the whole world, it is kept preserved there. So that's something there. And apart from these things, let's go into this one. um, so yeah, so hey Rahul, yeah. And so these are the different services that use Git and GitHub for this. Okay, now coming back to what Hacktoberfest is. So how many of you here would like to get a t-shirt? I believe a lot of people. Okay, before that, Gulam is asking like what is the best thing? Like, is it a command line is better, or graphical user interface is better? Always, I would say command line is very powerful, and it has a lot of things that you can do, and that's one thing is there definitely. And then finally, coming back to our what do you call this? Git and GitHub thing. The next step is the Hacktoberfest. Recently, what happened is for the past few years, the what do you call this? How many of you have heard of this company called DigitalOcean? DigitalOcean has been hosting something called as Hacktoberfest every October, where you are supposed to do like 4 pull requests which are really good enough to understand, like get involved, to get a lot of people involved in Git and GitHub open source contribution and other things, to say that what they have done is, if you create 4 pull requests and they are accepted by a maintainer, like a owner of the repository, what happens is, after 14 days of maturity period, if your pull requests are accepted before that, like pull request is just you're giving a suggestion, like a change suggestion, and then you're going ahead with that. So that is what is a pull request called as. So once you have completed 4 pull requests, you'll be eligible for either getting a t-shirt or you can plant a tree. These two things both are powered by sponsored by DigitalOcean, Intel, and Dev.to. These 3 companies are sponsoring this year, and it's been like so awesome. And if you have not started yet, I'm giving the Hacktoberfest link on the YouTube chat. Please go ahead and connect your GitHub profile with that. So once you do it and start doing the pull requests on Hacktoberfest topic repository, you'll be able to quickly, I mean, once you finish the 4 pull requests, you'll be able to get the t-shirt of your choice. And it's only for the first 70,000 people. So go ahead, jump in, and everything is free. Not only t-shirt, you will also get a nice awesome sticker collection and all those things. Okay, and with respect to other webinars, there will be like lot of webinars I have planned to do this week and next week. And with respect to that, yeah, everything will be happening on my YouTube channel. And if you have not connected with me on LinkedIn, please go ahead and get connected. And once you are in, we can talk about your career, and we can also talk about any kind of like development stuff and stuff like that. Okay, um, coming back to questions, Abhishek has asked, how is the scope for Java in the open source domain? um, there are like, I believe there is a lot of people who are using Java. I mean, I don't know if it is right to say that Java is in its declining phase or something like that. But what I know is the top 3 languages. Can anyone guess what are all the top 3 languages? I'm also looking at other chat messages. Hey, Manish and Veerpal, can you tell me what would be the top 3 languages, the most sought after languages?
Okay, so first is going, we know nowadays JavaScript first is all application
Okay.
are in the Man stack, Lamp stack, and like Python, Java, script, and it's most popular. They are mostly using by companies.
What about Veerpal? Because Manish, what he said is like very partially correct. Like I can give like 25 marks for it out of 100. Veerpal, do you want to get the 100 marks?
Yes, JavaScript,
Okay.
jQuery, and
See,
I
jQuery is a
think
JavaScript library, so
Python.
it comes under J. Okay, so you
Okay,
both are like
Python.
partially correct. Number 1 is Python, number 2 is JavaScript, number 3 is .NET and the Microsoft CLR libraries, and then number 4th is Ruby on Rails, and 5th Java. It's going on this way. So this was a survey taken by Stack Overflow for the jobs and the specifics, and for people who are using and um, recently the news is like JavaScript will be taking over Python, because uh, Python, the main reason why it is so popular is it has a lot of abilities for, like doing the web scraping, data mining, like data science. Python is the only thing that people are using. So JavaScript is also gearing up with the power, and then it is also like trying to outbeat Python in almost all the areas right now. So there is a very high chance that JavaScript might take over Python. So I would say, like, please go ahead and learn JavaScript and Python in case if you want to go for a full stack. So full stack JavaScript is also has also done a huge work in full stack development as well. So if you have heard of Node.js, Node.js is the JavaScript's server side, and um, the front end is always used by JavaScript. So in front end, none of the other languages can come other than JavaScript. So that's actually a good thing about JavaScript. And coming back to our mobile application development, that's a completely huge scenario where there is like Android and iOS. There is like hybrid mobile applications, React Native, Kotlin, um, Objective-C and Java. So these things are also coming up in that case. So there are like so many things available in side that side of area as well. So if you are working on something on um, iOS and uh, Apple related development, you have Swift and Objective-C, and now it is also taken over by Objective-C. Sorry, Swift. Swift is the new programming language, and recently Dart and Rust are also coming up as well. Dart, Rust, Flutter, these things are very much helpful for creating mobile application development. So if you want to go into the mobile applications part of side, it has like a huge there is a huge thing available there. And look into Flutter and Dart right now, Flutter, Dart, and Rust, and that might be going in a high demand. And recently, there is also this particular thing called Golang. Golang has been like going on in a really nice way, and yes, that is used by Google. And if you want to get into Google, Golang is like one go-to software programming language that you might be able to learn. So Abhishek asks again, like, could you please suggest us a path or roadmap to learn JavaScript or any kind of project that we could build using this? Excellent question, Abhishek. And there is already answer in your question. There is something called as roadmap.sh as the site. Okay, so roadmap is the developer roadmaps, and I'm just putting the link in the YouTube live chat. So in case of if you want to know what exactly developer like if you want to become a full stack developer, or if you want to become a React developer, a front end developer, back end developer, for all these things there is a huge roadmap that is there. Let me quickly share you my screen and show what exactly is roadmap.sh, and you might have a better idea about it. So just give me 1 second. So I hope you all are able to see my screen. So here, if you see, there is something called as developer roadmaps, and front end plus back end is the full stack. So that's very much clear. So if you go to the front end stack, let's go to the back end stack, and DevOps is something that is mainly related to what people are working on, that on the maintaining and stuff like that, those kind of area. But coming back to our React part. Okay, we will look at these three things quickly right now. Okay, so first thing, if you want to become a front-end developer, if you want to become a full-stack developer, you need to learn both front-end and back-end. So let's start with front-end. Okay, so if you are going for a front-end development, the first thing which you need is like the basics of front-end, like for example, how the internet works, what is a HTTP protocol, what are browsers and how do they work. I mean, like so basic things. DNS, what is a domain name, what is hosting. So how many of you here know what is a DNS server, how DNS works? Let me quickly jump to the chat. Hey, Veerpal, is it your birthday today?
No, sir. It was on 9 October.
Okay, belated birthday wishes. It was just 2 days ago. Great. A lot of people are wishing you for your birthday. Wish you many more happy returns of the day, Veerpal.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so for DNS, I'm just going to quickly show you how DNS works. 1 second. So a lot of people have said it's called domain name system and stuff like that. That's superb. Let me try to show this one. I hope you all are able to see my screen now.
Computers and other devices use IP addresses to identify each other on the internet. As we can't always remember complicated numbers, we use words instead. A domain name system brings the two together to get you to your destination. This is how it works. All around us we see domain names. For example, the website of your favorite band. The site is stored somewhere on the internet. Let me explain how your PC finds it within milliseconds. The journey starts with typing in the website address. In words, of course, as you wouldn't have remembered IP 88.151.243.8. Your device will read the address backwards. It will start at the end with the root domain, in our case, .eu. Information on the root domains is stored in 13 different root servers located around the world. In reality, there are numerous more copies of each of these machines in different locations to make sure that whatever happens, the system will keep on working. A root server contains the information on the name servers for the different zones. In our case, it tells us where we can find the information on addresses ending with .eu. Again, for reasons of security, there are a number of these .eu name servers located around the world, so that if one is too busy or stops working, for example, due to an earthquake, the information would still be reachable elsewhere. The .eu name server knows where the information for the more than 3 million .eu addresses is stored, and will tell us where we can find flamingflamingos.eu. It will communicate this unique IP address. The IP address for the Flaming Flamingos website is now identified and sent to your computer. Now the download of the content can start. But remember, this whole process that makes it possible to connect your computer to the place where the website is stored happens in just a few milliseconds before it connects to the internet and starts downloading the information. In reality, a lot of information is stored along the road in the so-called cache memories, retrieved faster than having to return to the root every time. This movie is brought to you by Center, the...
So how was that video? What do you think about this? That's what exactly happens in identifying a domain name server. And yeah, so this is being like, this is one of the most crucial parts. So that all these things can be managed using DevOps and those things. So that is what I wanted to actually tell about. And this particular thing, when it comes to DevOps and managing all these DNS servers and other things, that can be done using DigitalOcean server as well. So talking about DigitalOcean, DevOps, and all these things, now that is one of the companies that sponsors this Hacktoberfest as well. And right, so coming back to what we were talking about Hacktoberfest. So all you need to do is like create 4 pull requests, and with that being said, so you will be getting like lots and lots of goodies like t-shirts and stickers, etc. So okay, all these are fine. So what does this do in my future? So first thing, your GitHub contributions or your open source contributions can be your living CV. In case if you are a developer, like a software developer, or like any kind of like coding related person, what you can do is you can go ahead and uh, if at all any recruiter comes to me and says like, hey Praveen, why do you need to hire you? First thing, have a look at the job description and say like, okay, so these are the things that I work on, and then this is what I have done so far. So here's my Stack Overflow profile. So if you go to Google and type in Stack Overflow Praveen, I'll be able to like quickly look into like, see, this is what is me and stuff like that. So if that is possible, why not I mean, like mostly the interviewer will be happy, like looking at, okay, fine, I know what I'm doing and I have the right stuff to do. And moreover, if they can also look at what all things that's been done by me on the development front, so these things are also there, right? So looking at all these things, I guess this one will give you like enough reasons why we can uh, go for open source contributions and what open source might do. So not only that, you can find a lot of like-minded people and also like collaborate with them, start learning something new. And then finally, with that being said, you will be learning a lot, like more than the university, whatever they teach. The For example, if you take JavaScript, change is the only thing that doesn't change. That is something like taken like a Bible or a Gita or Quran by JavaScript, because every single day JavaScript changes. And if I say like, hey, I just completed learning the React.js total library, which was released day before yesterday. Sorry, it's been 2 days since the new version has been released. So to that way, that fastness, so fast and rapid JavaScript is evolving, and within no time it has become the number 2 language now. And I completely have the confidence that it will come to the number one part as well. So this is like a competitive world, and we need to like keeping on going on like this, and that is something that is happening right now. And with that being said, so these are a few things that I would tell that there are stuffs that are really helpful in like if you go for the open source contribution, that's going to be working out. So there are two more things which I wanted to say. So first thing, if you have not done anything related to Hacktoberfest and you want a t-shirt or something like that, I have got something with me which is called as Hacktoberfest project ideas. Okay, so this is dedicated for Hacktoberfest, and this project will be accepting almost all the pull requests, because all you need to do is just get your awesome idea on this. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing, if you're completely new to like contributing to GitHub or something like that, I've given we've given an awesome contributing guide here. I'm sending that link as well right now, just a second. So yeah, so there is an awesome contributing guide which has almost all the pictures and other things that will help you in giving you a step-by-step basic idea of how to contribute to a GitHub repository. Have a quick look at the repository, and sorry, have a quick look at that README file, and you will be able to find out like what you need to do and how you need to do, etc. So this is something which I wanted to say. And let me also quickly open up that repository and show you what exactly that has, so that you will get a good idea about what I'm talking about. Just give me 1 second. So this is the contributing guidelines right now, and this has the pull request. So what you need to do to pull request, the flow, this is called as Git flow, and a lot of companies and a lot of institutes are using the Git flow right now, Git flow strategy right now. So looking at that, the first thing what you need to do is you need to go to the original repository to which where you want to contribute. The second point is like you need to fork the repository. There is a fork button on the top right, and you just need to click on the fork button, and once you have forked it, you can go into your version of their repository. So my username is Praveen Science, and the original repository which I want to do is belongs to Cats and Tech. Oops. Yeah. Okay. So once that is done, the next step is like you need to clone the repository yourself. So that will happen in this part. Like you have a big button which says clone or download, and you have this URL which you might use either like a terminal where you can use the GitHub, like clone the repository, or you can also use Visual Studio Code or any other kind of IDEs that support GitHub, or uh, there is GitHub Desktop in case if you are worried about using the command line mode. Then finally, coming back to our issues. So you need to make sure there is already an issue. So there are already 18 issues and people are working on it. So what we can do is we need to create a new branch based on this issue. So what I generally do is I create a branch from the master. Master is the main branch generally, and then you create a new issue based on this. For example, a new branch based on the issue. For example, if the issue that is I'm going to work on is number 2, I'm going and it is about a CNAME update. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2, that is the issue number hyphen CNAME hyphen update. That says something about the branch that I'm going to work on. So it is called as it is going to be about updating the C names, canonical names, and then coming back to the next thing, use your favorite IDE, whether it is Notepad or Visual Studio Code or Sublime Text or whatever you want to use it, update the files. Once you have done the updating, it will say that this particular file has been modified. So once you have modified the files, what you can do is you can add the first step is to stage the changes. So before even staging, make sure you check the difference. Okay, this is what you are doing, or like what exactly is happening here. To check that, you can use something called as git diff color, or in Visual Studio Code or any other site. Like for example, if I go to a particular repository in VS Code, if I go here, like let's say if I'm changing something like hello, um, Veerpal, is it sorry, Veerpal and Manish, is it CT University or CU University?
City, sir, city.
Okay, I keep forgetting that. Sorry. So let me put like CT University here and save this page. The moment I save it, it totally changes everything. So if I go back to my app.js, I can see that there are a few changes that I have done. So before that, I need to set this prettier width for React to be to reset this one because it is not this one. Okay, super. So if I see the changes, I can only see that this particular thing has been changed. So if you're a the same thing can be done using git diff here. So if you see this, there is a small plus there is a small plus icon which says hello city university, and in this page it is showing it in a graphical way where on the right side line number 70 has been added, and on the left side this is not there. So left side is the original one, right side is the updated one. Okay, now if you're happy with this thing, what I can do is I can do git add the changed file, which is app.js, or I can just go here and press this plus button, which is going to add it to the application. Okay, so it also says something like a problem. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so once this is done, if you see the git status now, it is going to say this has been modified and this has been added to the changes to be committed. So all you need to do is write a commit message, added CT University name, and then I can either press tick or I can do git add commit commit hyphen m, and then add this whatever I have written here, and then I can press enter. If I do anything of these things, it's going to update it for me. And if I just need to reset this one, I'm just going to put git reset dot git as git checkout dot. Okay, so it's gonna reset everything. Yeah, so once I do this, I can just like do a push here from my local to the master on the website on the GitHub page, so that in the git on the GitHub it is going to update for me. So this is what is this has been updated. This is recently updated by Praveen. And so what happens here is, if you go down, if you scroll down, this is the same thing that I am doing. So I first do the git status, it says it is modified, so I'm doing git diff and check whatever is there. Then I'm doing git add the file, and then I'm checking the git status. It has been modified and it is to be committed. So what I'm doing is I do a git commit with a message saying updated the build command and domain, and then finally it actually got committed as well. Now once this is done, what I need to do is I need to push the changes to my repository. So I'll just do a git push origin, like origin or whatever it is, or origin the branch name. Okay, once I do this, I navigate to the, oops, something has happened. Looks like she left and our faces are coming in a bad way. All right, that's fine. Please adjust that. Hey, I'm here. Okay, great, she's back. Nice. So coming back to what all things are there. Wait, what's happening here? Okay, coming back to our next thing is, there will be, in when you come look at the GitHub page, you will be able to see something like you have created a new branch which says this one. Please click on compare and pull request. Once you do the compare and pull request, it will open up small form which says like these are the things that are there, and just add your comments. And then once you click on create pull request, it will be in the opened position, and in this part you can request the maintainers to have a review of it. Once that is done, they say yes, and then this gets merged, and then you can also delete the branch if you want, and finally your change will be merged to the new repository. So this is what is supposed to be done. And in the Hacktoberfest profile, if you see here, make sure you are going to the profiles that are using the Hacktoberfest topic. For example, if you go to my profile, which my particular Hacktoberfest ideas repository, if you see here, there is a topic called as Hacktoberfest here, right? So this, make sure in the about section there is Hacktoberfest topic, and all you need to do is go here, start this repo before, and then click on fork. Once you fork that, go to your fork of it and follow the same instructions which I discussed before. So once you do this, you have like 14 days of things, and these are the different legends that you can see. So the first thing is, if the repository has like, sorry, if the particular commit request has something like a small um, clock mark, it is like it has been accepted, everything is there, you are in the review period. 14 days, up to 14 days you can't do anything. So once you pass the 14 days and the review period is perfectly done, then your particular pull request is eligible and perfectly applied. Then there is the next thing, that is the pending part. So you have done it, but it has not been accepted yet by the maintainer. Once it is done, it becomes the review part. Then this one is invalid, so make sure you don't get more than 2 invalid pull requests. Let me check mine. Okay, there are none for now. Okay, make sure you don't get more than 2 invalid pull requests, then you will be completely removed from the Hacktoberfest this year and the upcoming years. So be careful about that. There is this ineligible repository. For example, this particular repository, which this particular pull request which I committed is for my own repository. This repository belongs to me. So you can't, this is not an eligible repository, and there are other repositories that are ineligible. For example, the maintainer would say like, I don't want Hacktoberfest people to come and participate in my repository, or I am not participating this Hacktoberfest this year, so don't count my people who are submitting to my repository towards the Hacktoberfest. Those kind of things that might be there. So that is ineligible repository. And finally, after this 14 days are over, you will go to the accepted. Once these 4 things are accepted, boom, you are eligible for the Hacktoberfest part. Okay, so I'm just gonna yeah, I'm just gonna stop my screen sharing for now. And right, so yes, so that's about Hacktoberfest, how you can get a t-shirt and stuff like that. So coming back to the what do you call this, coming back to how if there are any questions on the live stream. Okay, it looks like a lot of people are discussing something. Okay, great. So Subham, so any other questions that we should be looking at, or is that all? How was it?
Sir, tell a little bit about how it will help in future and more about platforms where we can contribute.
So how it will help in future is, I told about like the job. Oh, I guess Manish, you are not there at that time. I actually covered everything. So
Okay,
what
okay.
all things that you can do in the future is like, you can use your GitHub repository as a credential for you to, like, instead of your CV, a lot of companies here are hiring based on your GitHub profile, right? So you can actually show your GitHub profile. This is what I have done so far. These are the contributions I have done so far, and can you give me a job? Yes, no one will say no, right? So that is one thing. And secondly, you will be getting a lot of learning experience. For example, you do have some kind of like a problem solving ability, and you want to solve a particular problem in a particular way. So let's say if it is a factorial number, you can either solve it using a for loop, or you can also do it using recursive method. So there are other numbers. What we know is these two ways, and we will choose one of these ways. But there could be like more than 100 ways you can do the factorial, in 100 different ways in one each and every programming language. For example, JavaScript might have some native ways of doing this using a reduce function or something like that. You can use that, and there are like so many different ways you will be able to learn those things. Then apart from that, you would be considered as like, okay, so you are a reputed person, you have the knowledge in open source. Those kind of things you will be considered in when you are having the what do you call this, when you are contributing to the open source world, you can be considered as a like, okay, this person has the right knowledge, and those kind of credibility will also come in. Apart from that, you can also earn. So coming back to this earn part, how can you earn using open source and GitHub? So GitHub, there is the recent thing they have started as GitHub stars and GitHub sponsors. So all the GitHub stars are eligible for so many goodies from GitHub, Microsoft, and you get a lot of things that is worth valuable, very valuable. And GitHub sponsors, on the other end, what happens is, if you are really good with something and other people are noticing it, they are ready to like pay for you. Like, okay, you are doing an awesome job, I'm ready to pay for you every month And I've got two sponsors right now. I would like to give a shout out to Eddie Jody and Stephen Mount. So these two people are like giving me like so much money. I mean, like not so much money. It's like they're doing something. So hope the taxman doesn't see it. But anyway, yeah. So you can also earn money through this. So this is something which I would like to say. So it is always better to get into, I mean, this is completely legal, right? So you are trying to help the community, and the community is giving back to you by like, you know, paying you or something like that. Anything helps, right, for us. So these are a few things which I would say, like open source on the long run, it will be helping you in a lot way. So nothing happens overnight, but let's say you are a like a conscious contributor to open source for, let's say, like 2 years down the lane. First year people are recognizing you, second year people start giving you a lot of feedback. Like for example, the feedback could be in terms of critics, hey, you're doing this way, this can be done in a better way. Or people are giving you in terms of, oh wow, you are doing something so awesome, I'm happy to support you by giving you a monetary benefit. Like I'm ready to pay you like $1 per month, or like $10 per month. You can actually set those tiers as well. So if you go to the sponsors.github.com, you can find all these things, all these data. And if a lot of people are recognizing that you are doing a lot in the open source world, you can be considered as a GitHub star. Once GitHub gets your nomination, after that you can GitHub periodically sends a lot of goodies. Like last time when Eddie Jody was here, he was showing his golden GitHub OctoCat award. So it looks like this Oscar award, but with a GitHub OctoCat symbol. I mean, that's a huge thing, right? When there are like 100 people coming for an interview, and you can proudly say that, see, I have got this GitHub OctoCat award. I know I have been doing a lot of things like this on this area. Please give me a job or something like that. Definitely they will be happy to give you a job. They will be giving you a good preference, right? Like you will be standing out of the crowd, out of all those people. Like for example, nowadays if you see, like it is extremely competitive. When our what do you call this, our engineering colleges, when we are in the fourth year, final year, and when there are like loads of companies come in for placement, this what do you call this, campus placements and final year placements, you can see that not only our college participates, just for our class itself it is like 120 people, I believe. Like generally it is 120 for the CS groups, and non tech groups, like for example non CS or non IT groups, there will be at least minimum 60 people. Okay, and everyone will go to this BCS or Gunforces or any kind of this similar companies, similar sounding companies, or Backcenture. Okay, so if this is the case, you need to be one among them, and you should be like, for just for our class alone, it will be like 1 out of 120. Our whole year is going to be 1 out of 120 plus 120 plus another 120, comes around 480 or something like that, right? 360, 480. Yeah, so out of 500 people, you have to shine, like you have to be unique. So you have to do something more, and then how much more you are doing, that is what matters now. So this is one thing. So if you have an excellent GitHub profile, if you have an excellent LinkedIn profile, there you go, you are standing out. And yeah.
Sir, more platforms like GSOC outreaches like that platform, so we
So
can
how many
find
of you
more.
are actually able to go to GSOC? Tell me. I don't think not many people are able to get into GSOC. Even I tried for getting into GSOC as a mentor, but that is very competitive, like extremely competitive, like the IITs and NITs, something like
Brand value.
that.
So, sir, like that we can contribute. So that's are really good for students to contribute, I think.
So keep going into open source world. Try to do a lot of things in open source. That's what I would say right now.
Yeah, I understand. Yes, sir.
Awesome. So I hope it
More
was
thing.
a good meeting today.
Take questions from if anyone wants to ask, then
Yeah.
take
Any other
from chat.
questions that you want to ask? I'm happy to answer. Okay. Veerpal, you have a suggestion to become a home minister. All the best. So there is a prime minister here, there's a home minister here, and there's a no one here. That's awesome.
Your president. Your president.
No. I will always be like a developer. That is enough for me.
One
Deepa,
question is from Abhishek.
Okay.
Do we have some project ideas for Java?
If there are no project ideas for Java, feel free to add new project ideas for Java. You be the change. And there is also this person, Deepansh. Also, please inform if there are any more events for us for like Hacktoberfest. Deepansh, subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon. There are like loads and loads of things that is coming up, and I have also written some kind of written an article of what are all the upcoming live streams and other things. So I'm also sharing that link with you. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, any other things? Let me send this message to Deepansh right away. When PUBG unban, or which company support PUBG in India? I guess Reliance Jio has actually taken over PUBG, I believe.
Planning is going on.
Yeah, planning is going on, so you will soon see PUBG or 4G. I guess 4G is the new PUBG, right, in India? Something they were saying about that. And there is one more thing. Any other questions? Sorry, I don't understand Hindi, so I yeah, I'm not sure anything. A lot of things are based on Hindi, so I couldn't understand anything in this live chat. Hey, Eddie Jody is here. Eddie Jody was here, or like,
Yeah, I'm seeing him. He's
hey.
here.
So yeah, I was talking about Eddie Jody, who actually sponsored me in GitHub as well. So thank you, Eddie Jody. You're always awesome. I keep talking about Eddie Jody about Eddie Jody as well. So he's the first person who made me talk this way, and because of him, I got into this live streaming thing, and I started talking in different conferences. And because of that, I got my current job as well in a huge bank in the UK. It is one of the top 3 banks, and that's awesome as well. PHP is awesome, Gulam. I am a PHP lover, but if I say this outside, people will throw stones at me. So I'm not saying anything about that. So LAMP stack is really an awesome stack, and I've been using LAMP stack for the past maybe 15, 20 years. I really love it, man. But only problem right now is not many people are aware of LAMP stack, and not many people are using it right now. The um, interest over LAMP stack has gone towards the like this microservices part and other things. So JavaScript is now the new LAMP stack. It's the MERN stack. That's what is happening. What is Yuvraj saying? Um, can you translate it?
She's be asking like that. What is scope in cybersecurity to pursue?
Cybersecurity is really a huge area right now. A lot of people are like getting into cybersecurity because, I mean, I work for a bank, so I'm like literally every day we are shelling out millions of pounds, which is like more than crores on the cybersecurity front. So make sure, if you want to get a career in cybersecurity, that is one of the sought after roles, and you'll get paid more than developers. That is actually a good one, but you have to be very shrewd, and like you have to be very stuff. James Charlie, I will send you this link again for you. It is roadmap.sh. But with respect to a particular Java or anything, you can take care of the which particular language that you want to go for. But there are like most of the other languages are there, like yeah, that is one thing. And with respect to okay, a lot of people are asking Java. I have no clue about Java because I'm not a Java developer and I haven't worked with Java. And to be honest, I can say it in public, I hate working in Java. So I haven't worked with Java at all, because after looking at JavaScript and PHP, which are non-typed languages, they are called as duck typing languages. You don't need to like specify which integer type, sorry, which data type a variable is. So that is called as a duck typing language. So I really love to stay in the duck typing language than the typed languages like Java or .NET or Ruby on Rails or something like that. So JavaScript is really getting popular, and machine learning. If you are taking up machine learning or artificial intelligence, go for Python. Python is staying the number top one, and it is going to be there in the top one for the next couple of years. So go for it. And apart from that, Gulam Ali, I have actually shared that link. I'll again share the link here. It is called roadmap.sh. And Germany language can be learnt. Yes, it is possible. Oh, he's being sarcastic, I guess. James, again, the top three languages are like, I would go with Python, JavaScript, and I guess .NET comes third. I'm not sure. So Python and JavaScript are the top two languages I can be confidently saying. Yeah, I guess we can wrap up the whole session. What do you think, guys? Was it good?
Yeah, sir, everything is good. If you want to share something, then you can more.
Okay, so one thing which I wanted to say is please go ahead, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification icon so that you will be getting all the next upcoming live streams from my side. And Veerpal and Manish, you are already connected with me on LinkedIn. Veerpal, would you like to send me a LinkedIn request?
Yes, sir, I will send.
You said you want to come here. You both want to come here, right? So
Yes.
we are also having some of the openings here. So I would be happy to refer you both. So let's see how it goes, and all the best. But only condition is you have to complete your course before that. So let me know once your course is completed. Let's come here. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you, guys,
Thank you,
and thank you,
sir.
sir, for giving this opportunity to organize this event.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for sharing. No, sir, thanks to you and my team. I want to thanks my all friends and my all colleagues. They are support me to make this successful. And thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so we can actually say bye bye for everyone, and yeah, it's awesome. So see you all. Have a nice, happy Sunday.
See you, sir. Have a
Okay,
nice
you
day.
both stay on the call. We'll
Thank you,
just
sir.
put the holding page.